I am Sue Webley. Welcome to another episode of Inspire. Good morning, one and all. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to another episode of Inspire. I see you coming in on Instagram. Hey, being Kristen, good morning. Thank you for joining us. I see you, Bishop Bonnie. Thank you for joining us. If you are on right now, do me a favor and share out this broadcast this morning because I'm so excited to speak with our guest. If you're just joining, you just happen to stumble upon this broadcast, you don't know who I am. I am Sue A. Webley, an author, producer, and an award-winning minister and entrepreneur. And I believe in the power of words, wisdom, and witness. And that's exactly what Inspire is all about. So every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, we host space for honest, soulful, and often transformative conversations with guests from all walks of life, entrepreneurs, artists, thought leaders, organizers, and everyday people who are living boldly and authentically. We explore topics that matter, from mental health and identity to faith, business, justice, creativity, and healing. So whether we are spotlighting community leaders or celebrating personal triumphs, Inspire is rooted in the power of story and the belief that when we speak our truth, we light the way for others. Good morning, my love, Quita. Thank you for joining us today. You can, I want to invite you, those of you who are on, to connect, follow, like, and subscribe. We are live right now on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and on YouTube. And I want to invite you to follow Inspire with Sue W on Facebook and on Instagram. If you're already following me through Cara Solutions LLC, thank you so much. We are building up the Inspire with Sue platform. And so we ask that you also follow us on Inspire with Sue W. You can also go to our website at www.getinspired.live, www.getinspired.live. There you can watch all of our previous episodes, find out more about the show, and also subscribe to our newsletter, because we don't want you to miss anything that's happening with Inspire. We want you to be involved with us. We have some great things coming up, and we don't want you to miss a thing. But before we get into our conversation today, those of you who are here, you're able to speak and tell me where you're watching from. What are you sipping on this morning? Now, I asked this. This is Inspired. There it is. Inspired Black Excellence is the cup that I have today. And I have, believe it or not, some decaffeinated espresso. It sounds oxymoronic, right? But it is decaf and it is espresso. I always have coffee in my cup unless I'm traveling and can't get to any coffee, but more than likely it's always coffee in my cup. So let me know what you're sipping on and where you are viewing from this morning. Good morning to our Instagram family. If you see me looking that way, Instagram is over there on that screen. Thank you so much for joining us on Instagram. Bishop Bonnie, I say this every Saturday. If people are joining me from the West Coast, I know you love me because it's very, very early on the West Coast. So thank you for your consistent support. And I'm not sure what time it is in Namibia, but Gelda can tell us when she comes on. So it is back to school season here in the United States. I believe in Namibia, it is the back to school season begins in January. You could correct me when you come on, but it is back to school season here in the United States. And while many of us are excited to see our children step into new grades, step into new classrooms, and step into new beginnings, the headlines tell us just how much is at stake for our young people right now. Parents are worried about the impact of technology in classrooms. Some are pushing for phone-free schools to give kids a break from constant digital distraction. At the same time, schools are wrestling with how to use AI responsibly, how to protect freedom of thought in the face of book bans, and how to make sure every child is learning in an environment that affirms them. On top of that, families are feeling the strain of rising school lunch costs, right? So something as simple as sending your child to school with a peanut butter and jelly sandwich now costs more than it did last year. And for families already stretched thin, so many families are feeling that impact of that one big beautiful bill with cuts everywhere. And so for those families who are already stretched thin, that pain is real. So the question becomes, family, what does it truly mean to protect, to nurture, and to empower children? What does that truly mean? Not just with academics, but with dignity, safety, and love. And that's why today's conversation is so important. It's so important. Let me put her beautiful face up on the screen. And now I'm going to apologize in advance. She told me how to pronounce her name. I'm going to do my best, Gelda. I'm going to do my best. It's Gelda Waterboer. I hope I pronounced that right. Viral body safety song has given children everywhere the language to understand that their boundaries, right? To understand their boundaries and to know that their voices matter. She has been featured on NBC, BBC, and across social media, not because she sought the spotlight, but because her message is universal. And she reminds us that whether in Namibia, in the US, or anywhere else, our children need more than pencils and books. They need to know that their bodies are sacred, that their voices are strong, and that they are worthy of protection. And so I can't wait for you to meet her. And as we prepare, let me let you take a look at that viral video.
These are my private parts, private parts, private parts. These are my private parts. No one should touch them. No one should squeeze them. And if you touch my private parts, private parts, private parts. And if you touch my private parts, I will tell my mother. I will tell my father. I will tell my teacher. These are my private parts, private parts, private parts. These are my private parts. No one should touch them. No one should squeeze them. And if you touch my private parts, private parts, private parts. And if you touch my private parts, I will tell my mother. I will tell my father. I will tell my teacher.
Good morning, Gelda. Is it Gelda or Gelda? Because I want to make sure I'm at least pronouncing that right. Is it Gelda or
Yes.
Gelda? Gelda. Okay. Good morning, Gelda. Thank you so much for joining us. What time is it there?
Time currently is 4:22 p.m.
PM. I was
Yes.
going to say, please don't say AM because I feel so bad. But it's okay. Thank you for joining us. As soon as I saw that video, I'm like, oh my gosh, we have got to get her on Aspire. I felt something, right, as an adult. And I wish that there were teachers when I was coming up. I wish that there were teachers like you, you know, that really pressed that issue of having boundaries as a child, you know, learning about our private parts and knowing that no one is supposed to touch them, right? And helping to also give us a voice to say no, right? I'm going to tell somebody, right? And I
Yeah.
so thank you so much for all that you are doing. Thank you for putting that on the internet. I'm just I wish some of your students could be on with you, but I just just hearing them sing just brought such joy to my spirit. So
Yes.
thank you again. Before we go
Yes.
into
Thank
our
you.
conversation, what are you sipping on this morning, Gelda?
I had some coffee with a bit of sugar, and it was delicious. I don't really drink that much of tea, but I had something to sip on just to get some energy.
Yeah. What kind of coffee?
Yeah. It was decaf, Ray coffee.
Okay, listen. So we're sisters this morning because we're both drinking decaf. So I'm not alone, y'all. I'm not alone. We are both drinking decaf coffee. And so let's get into our conversation. I think you might did you freeze? I just want to make sure. Okay, yep. So this is what happens, right? When internet is not always reliable. And so we are going to chat until she comes back. She's able to join us again. Hey, Bishop Bunny, in Long Beach today. It is 7 a.m. in the morning. Thank you again for joining. So who has children going back to school? Let me know what your joy is in that, and let me know what your concerns are. Right? I talked about parents who are already stretched thin, those who are trying to take care of their families, those who are trying to make sure that their children have lunch money. Right? Tell us what your concerns are about your children going back to school. She is back with us. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know. I was just kicked off.
No, it is all right. It is all right. So that song has
Yes.
gone global, right? And so,
Yeah.
can you walk us a little bit through that moment when you first realized that it had gone viral? Like, where were you at that moment? What went through your mind?
It was, everything was happening so fast. It was overwhelming. I just woke up the next morning and I'm finding a lot of DMs, a lot of phone calls, even people locally calling me, telling me, you are going viral. So it was overwhelming, a lot happening at once. And it took me off by surprise because I was also like, why is it going viral? But later
Mhm.
on, I understood that it is something that is very important in this day and time, and seeing what our babies are going through daily. So it caught me off guard. To be honest, I was really overwhelmed. Also trying to just understand, even now at the moment, that I went viral. you know. So
Yeah, so
yeah,
I think in 2 days, I read somewhere that in 2 days you have 50 million views.
yeah,
Wow.
that's
Wow,
a
in two
lot.
days. Yeah, I can imagine that it could be quite overwhelming,
Yeah,
quite overwhelming.
yeah, it
So
was.
yeah. And you have a TikTok, you have a TikTok channel, right? So you're often on social media? Oh, are we losing you again? Let us see.
Okay.
Oh, there she is. Okay. Well, we're gonna keep doing this. Y'all talk to me. Toya, oh my gosh, it's so good to see you. Thank you for joining us today. Gelda's having a little bit of internet issues, but we are going to make it through this. However, no matter how many times you get booted out, we're going to bring you back because I believe that this conversation is so
Oh,
vitally important. So thank you again. Thank you for your patience.
yeah.
Thank you for
Right. Okay.
thank you for your patience.
Mm,
So teaching first graders about body safety
yeah.
through song is brilliant. And so, what inspired you to make a body safety song? And why was it important to use music to deliver that message?
Yeah. To be honest, I did not create the song. That's the assumption from everyone, but I did not.
Mhm.
I saw it a few years ago on YouTube, because as a girl child that went through certain things growing up, I felt it that I need to stand in the gap somewhere when it comes to the safety of our children, because I know firsthand the experiences that I faced. I knew that I had nobody to talk to. I knew that I felt so violated and so lost in the moment that I was isolated from the world. So when I saw that song a few years ago, I was determined to use it in my classroom. And I was determined for my learners to understand the importance of their own body, how be to voice if they are unsaved, and how to, even to people that they trust, because in the environment where it's just people that you trust, when something happens you just assume that it's a normal practice. So it was my duty as a teacher, seeing my history and the experiences that I had, that I needed to be able to empower a child, every child that comes through my class. So that's how it came to be. It was like a personal conviction, because we only teach the kids cognitive stuff, but we don't prepare them for life. And if we are not able to voice our voices and empower them as young as they are, they will have a life that is full of uncertainties, you know. So that's how it came to be.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I talked about, I said earlier that I wish that we had that when I was coming up. And certainly,
Yeah,
I'm sure we've had some similar experiences with
yeah,
being, well, I'm going to talk about it, with being touched, right? Touched and squeezed, and not feeling
mhm,
safe enough to tell somebody,
yeah,
and not from just adults, but even other children, right? Other children,
yes,
and not feeling safe to say, or not feeling safe, and not feeling strong enough, not having the
yes,
courage to
yes,
say, to tell somebody that this
mhm,
is happening, right? And
yes,
so I agree with you. I think it's so vitally important that we begin instilling that in our young people from
mhm,
early on, right?
yes,
To give them some type of weapon, right? For lack of a better
mhm,
word, to be able to, you might not be able to prevent it from happening, but
yeah,
certainly they would have enough courage to go and to tell
mhm.
their teacher, or someone that they trust, their
Someone,
teacher,
yes,
their parents. Sometimes they don't even trust their parents, right? So
yeah,
to someone that they trust, to
yeah.
not only keep that information, but to do something about it.
Do something about it, yes.
Yeah, to do something about it. Thank you for sharing that.
Mm.
Those of you who are
Yeah.
watching, if you have a question or comment, please feel free to share that, and I will make sure that Gelda has
Mm.
an opportunity to respond to those before we end our time together today. So,
Yes.
on the internet, right, on social media, there's always a critic. There's
Yes.
always something, it doesn't matter how empowering the message is. There is always someone that's gonna say something,
Negative.
bad about it. So some critics argue that teaching young children about consent and about body safety is too heavy for their age. How do you respond to that? And why is it so vital to educate children early? Oh, she's gonna answer that when we get back. When she comes out, she's popping right back in. There you are. It is okay. It is all right.
Yeah, it's okay.
Did you hear? Did you hear the question?
I had the first part about some
Okay,
critics.
the first part. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Critics arguing that teaching children, young kids, about consent and body safety is too heavy for their age.
Yeah.
What would you say about that?
I always believe that if you are not able to educate your child, they will find out eventually in a manner that you don't even want them to find out from. So it's not about the age of a child, because somebody that wants to hurt a child or harm a child does not wait for them to turn a certain age or for them to be mature in a certain way. They wait for an opportunity. So if I, as a parent, as a teacher, have an opportunity right now to teach them, to educate them that it is wrong to do that or it is wrong to experience this, I should do it. It does not matter the age of a child. And I also understand where some of the critics are coming from, because some people grow up privileged. They have a safe home. They don't really go through, they are well protected. So to them, they don't resonate when we say that a child needs to be taught as early as possible. And I do understand that. But I also understand that if I don't voice it or if I don't teach them, somebody will do it. They will find out. We see that our world has become so dark. Kids are introduced to things that we don't even want them to learn at schools. They are introduced to things that we don't want them to know through TVs and televisions and all those things. Imagine you not educating your child and somebody else's child going through a situation where they feel like it's normal their uncle doing that to them, or it's normal that their brother is touching them, and they are in that environment of that nasty things happening to them, and to them they feel like it's normal, and that child takes that experience to your child at school because it's normal. They start showing them, or they start saying, if you do this it feels nice, because you have not told your child that it is wrong if this happens. So it is to me, it's not about the age, it's not about the age, but it is as soon as possible. If you know that your child is able to know, because they know it's their body part, eventually they will know. As they know they have eyes, they know that they have different body parts, private parts. So if you are able to, may you be the one that introduce them to being safe and to be vocal about it, instead of them finding it out some other way. So that's my take on this. But I also understand where they are coming from. But where I'm coming from, we cannot give a room to someone else doing it for our children.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. You were so passionate about this work, and passionate about creating, safe spaces for children. And so,
Yes.
what are some practical tips that you would give to parents and teachers who want to make sure that their children feel heard and protected?
Yeah, listen to them. I understand, especially this generation, us as adults. I feel like we have been robbed, in a sense that we were not given voice enough, or we were not told to be vocal about anything, because we were always told to be quiet. No, you are not supposed to do this. That's not a child's thing. And I want to encourage this generation, us that are now adults, to allow them to voice themselves. Sometimes when our children, even if a child says, I'm sick, some parents don't believe that. They just feel like, you are looking for attention, go to school, you are lying. We brush them off. We don't listen to a child, whether the child is lying or not. We should be able to listen, because when you listen, you are giving a person the assurance of, oh, now I can speak, I can voice anything I want. And they should find that comfort in knowing that if I say anything, there is an ear that is listening. So I have to be able to vocalize what I'm feeling, what I'm seeing. And for us to also educate our kids, teach them about safe ways to speak, or how to be safe. There should be that opening through a child and an adult or a parent, that opening of assurance that my parents will listen to me. If I tell adults something, they will listen to me. Because I know we live in a generation where kids just seek attention. They want what they want. But we should also, I always say that every behavior of a child has a reason. Every scream of a child, there's an emotion attached to it. So if we can find out what a child needs and be able to listen to them, I believe that we will have a child that is able to talk, able to raise their concerns, and able to come to us. Because some kids are scared of even talking to their parents, because of the disciplinary measures that are put out of fear, not out of respect and love. So we should change our disciplinary measures as well, to allow the kids to respect us out of love, and out of not out of fear of there will be punishment, but there should be that open gap for a child to be able to communicate with you.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So many of us, I guess our parents,
Yeah.
where it's like, okay, since children don't have autonomy, right? Since they're the ones that are over us, right? They're the
Yes.
they brought us into this world. They could take us out and all of that stuff. It
Mm.
leads to a situation where, yeah, I don't really feel
Yeah.
safe talking to you
Yeah.
about it. And if they
Anything.
are also uncomfortable, well, especially when it
Yes.
comes to like things about body parts and sex, if it's taboo for them,
Yes.
certainly they're not going to be open to their children coming to them to
Yes.
talk about certain things. And so I think for those who are kind of set in their ways,
Mm.
we invite you to
Yeah.
listen to your children, listen to your children.
Yes.
Bishop Bonnie says, okay, where she wants to know where you're from. She's from Namibia. She says she is awesome. Love how she's creating safe spaces for our children and
Oh,
grandchildren. Thank you so much,
oh,
Bishop
thank you.
Bonnie. Thank you. So, you have a developing organization, right, called
Yes.
Sanctuary of Love. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, I believe the greatest need of a child is love and protection. They should feel safe. And I believe that every child deserves a proper home full of love and joy. And the type of community that I work with, that I've been working with for the past few years now, I see hand on hand how the children are coming to school, how some of them can walk long distances and come to school, yet also when they go back, there's no guarantee that there's food on the table. So, as a teacher that sits with such learners, I took it upon myself to start an organization that is Sanctuary of Love, where I'm busy with getting a land together where there will be a shelter for the kids that are the parents that are not able to take care of the kids will be staying with me there at that shelter. So that's what I'm planning to do, because I cannot just be trying to scream at a child to for them to be able to read and write without meeting a child's social need. A child is a holistic thing and they need a holistic development. There's a cognitive part that needs to be developed, there's an emotional part that needs to be developed. And some kids emotions, because since they go through things every day, they experience abuse, they experience all sorts of things. And you can see when a child sits in the class, this child is not here, the body is here, but they have been locked up somewhere. The trauma has caused them to, and then there's no one that comes to them emotionally or socially or tries to understand them, because as teachers we are told to meet the competencies, or the child must master an objective, and we just focus on that, getting a report and sending them to the next grade. But when I started to engage more with my learners, I've decided that I don't want to be the type of a teacher. I want to step in the gap. I'm going to be a mother that I need to be. I'm going to provide what I need to provide. So I've been doing it in my class to feed them in my class, give them some sort of break time food and buy some socks and shoes and those things. But I've also seen that where they come from, there's really nothing that encourages them to take their education seriously. So I wanted to step in and create a safe haven for them, where they will stay, and go to school from there. And that's just the dream that I have. And I have put in the application for the land, which I'm waiting for a response. So from there, I will take it further on.
Yeah. So we wish you all the best of luck with that. We're
Yeah.
looking forward to hearing so much more about that organization. And so,
Yes.
once that's up and running, we want you to come back and talk a little bit more about that. So
Yes.
many so many teachers here in the U.S. They are, they have a heart to go above and beyond for their young people. So you will see
Yeah.
videos of them, braiding their hair, making sure that their hair is
Mhm.
good. We have seen initiatives where they wash their clothes, because some of our youth go to school and get bullied because they're wearing the same clothes. Their clothes are not clean, or and of
Mhm.
course it's a smell, so they tend to get bullied. They are aware, and awareness is key here. They're aware that some children are coming to school hungry,
Yeah.
right? So they
Mhm.
can't focus, they can't function,
They
right?
can't.
They're
Mhm.
coming from volatile environments in their home, and so
Yes.
that lends itself to not being able to get enough rest. So guess what? You're going to fall
Mhm.
asleep. You're going to fall asleep in
Yes.
class, right? So I
Yes.
so appreciate you and teachers like you all over the world who are aware, right? And not only
Mhm.
talking about it, but doing something about it. Because
Doing
you could
something
talk
about
about it all day long, but you are
it.
actually taking the steps to do something about it. And that
Yeah.
is to be
Yes.
commended. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Mm.
We're going to take a quick break for you to get a sip of your coffee, and we'll be right back with some more conversation. Thank you all. Thank you all for joining us again. I want to invite you to connect, follow, like, and subscribe. Again, if you're already following us on Carrot Solutions LLC, thank you so much. I want to build up the Inspire with Sue W platform, so I invite you to follow that on Facebook and on Instagram. If you decide to follow me personally, I am Sue A. Webley everywhere. You can't miss it. I would also invite you to head over to our website at www.getinspire.live. There you can watch all of our previous episodes. You can find out a little bit more about the show, and you can subscribe to our newsletter so that you don't miss anything that's happening with Inspire. Are you or someone you know on a mission to create change while inspiring others to do the same? Well, we want to hear from you. I want you to hang out with me on this Inspire platform. Join us in conversation on a future episode. Again, you can visit our website. Click that link that says Be Our Guest. You can you can book your appearance right on our website. Fill out that information, and a member of our team will get back to you. Cara Solutions. This is my baby. This is my company. For those of you that don't know, helping you navigate the digital space with confidence. Cara Solutions is a full-service digital agency specializing in helping our clients achieve their goals through consultation and training, content and social media management, graphic and web design, and live stream production. If you are interested in any of those things, you can schedule a consultation today by visiting our website at www.cara-solutions.com or email us at info@cara-solutions.com. Also, we are going to do this until our sibling in the community gets a kidney. Yanni needs a kidney donor. Some of you know her as Pastor Yanni, Reverend Yanni, the Peace Pastor. However you know her, if you don't know her at all, we're introducing her to you. She needs a kidney donor. So she's in search of potential donors who are fairly healthy, have the blood types A or O, and the courage to commit to surgery and help save her life. And she would love to share the safety measures with you. I would say if you know of an organization, if you know of a resource that she can lean into that would be able to help her in this search, please let us know so we could get that information to her. To reach Yanni and her family directly, you can email them at peacepeopleinc@gmail.com, or you can head over to emrylivingdonor.org, fill out that survey, and enter her name, Ayana Davis. Enter her name, Ayana Davis. So thank you for hanging out with us. We're going to get back into some more conversation with our amazing guest. Thank you for joining us again. Gelda, it's just such an honor to have you hanging out with me this morning. Bishop Bonnie has a question. Okay, so let's look at what Bishop Bonnie has to say. Again, yes, I'm excited. She said, how can we help her make her organization happen? One challenge, our kids live in fear behind these school shootings. She wants to know, do you face those challenges? And if so, how do you handle that fear in our children as a teacher? So is that something that takes place where you are?
No, I've never even had it in my country. So no, it does not happen.
Oh, listen,
We are safe from that.
I'm glad about it. So yeah, Bishop Bonnie, we envision a world where that doesn't happen, where our children are safe from gun violence.
Yeah.
Right. So that is definitely one of our dreams here in the U.S. Hey, Chuck Hunt, checking in from Monroe, Louisiana. Good morning. You're watching our broadcast before watching the college football today. Thank you, Chuck. Thank you. We're so grateful that you are hanging out with us today. So you have been teaching, right? You've been doing this almost a decade. Is it almost a decade or is it over a decade?
Yes,
teaching?
It's almost a decade. It's been 9 years now.
Yeah. How would you say that has shaped your understanding? And then we've heard so much of it in our conversation already, but can you say a little bit more about how that has shaped your understanding of what children need emotionally, psychologically, physically?
Yeah. To be quite honest, beginning teaching, I was really unaware. I was unaware of what a child faces in from the age of 5 to 10, whatever a child faces in that time, the traumas they experience, the pain they encounter, really determines what type of people they will be. And I was really unaware. I just, in the beginning, when I started to pursue this career, I didn't think that it was going to be something that would it will capture me like this. But the more I engage with these ones, and I realize that their subconsciousness, whatever I build, whatever I teach them, is literally building them for life. They are going to be the next generation leaders. We'll get presidents from the ones that are in our classrooms. They are going to make decisions that will hold our country, or they are the ones that are going to lead a nation. And so when I started to realize that what I do in my classroom determines what type of a child I'm producing, what type of a leader I'm producing, what type of intelligent, or how what I do, how I teach them will determine whether they are critical thinkers, whether they are. So I'm literally building a child. I'm building and equipping their skills, listening skills, thinking, and all of these things came to my awareness when I started to understand a child, an early child. And I always call myself, I'm a witch in my class, because I am able to understand a child's behavior, because when they misbehave, I know where it comes from, and I don't just sit there and scold them, because I'm trying to find out if there is a behavior like this, there is a source somewhere for that behavior. So I try to look past and see a child instead of just seeing behavior and ill discipline. So it has really taught me that we are dealing with human beings, that
Yes.
we have the power to shape, we have the power to mold, we have a power to equip. And if we can do it in the right way, we will have a generation that is well equipped of skills, not just reading and writing, but equipped of life skills that will help them to make good decisions, help them to make a decision that is based on intelligence and not just emotion. So that's how it captured me. And I appreciate that. I'm grateful that I also started to teach the younger minds, because it gave me a purpose, that a teaching is not just merely teaching, but there's a purpose behind, and I can really be part of someone else's journey starting from an early age. So yes.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. We're so grateful for your advocacy in this area. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. So going back to social media again, like I mentioned before, it could be, you have people that support you, you have your critics. It can really be a double-edged sword. And so
Yeah.
do you believe the attention that you now have has that shifted your approach any? And what are you most grateful about in
Yeah.
this digital moment?
Yes. I'm really grateful that the right awareness is being spread, and I have understood, being in isolation too long. I have been studying people from far, and I understand when some people are the way they are, because I've also understand that a person's projection cannot, or a person's thought should not be able to hinder my thought or change my thinking pattern. So I do understand all the critics and I also get all the attention. And I also understand when some, because I'm also getting threats. I used to get threats like, you deserve to be terminated, and all those things. And I also understand where that comes from. And I don't need to allow that negativity to change who I am or to change what I think, because as long as I don't allow a person in my mind, as long as my thoughts upon myself are still higher, they don't have a room or the power to change or shift my purpose into something that it is not supposed to be. So critic and negativity is also good, because it pushes you to the right direction. It keeps on opening doors. It keeps on bringing the awareness, the message that I wanted to spread. It keeps on bringing traffic to that message. So it really just gave me another perspective or another way of thinking, and opening my mind, and receiving people's opinions has also made me to realize, because above all the negativity, there's just a 2% of negativity and 98% of goodness that I'm getting. So I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can imagine threats. Wow.
Yeah, you deserve to be terminated. I just came to say that you are the awful person, and then they would block me, account not found. you know
What?
but I also understand that. I do understand, because we have now stepped on people's territory, so we have to
Yes.
expect anything. There's not just love in the world, there's also hate, and it's good because it keeps the balance. So
Mhm.
if you focus on hate, then you will be derived away from who you are. But you keep on focusing on the good, then you are building your character on the good.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So we are all about joy here on Inspire, and so when you step away from the classroom, when you step away from the spotlight that you have on social media, what brings you the most joy, and what fuels you in your everyday life?
What gives me joy is that I have a space on this earth. No matter how little the space is, I have a voice that I can use to really bring a change or impact someone. as little as the space is. So I'm just grateful that I have a space, because not everyone has an opportunity to be able to voice their take. So for me to be given a platform, and for people to even listen to me, that is the greatest thing I can ever ask for. So that gives me joy. What gives me also joy is just being in that class and seeing that I'm at least changing a life of one. That gives me joy and a purpose. Sometimes I always thought that a purpose is something that is far-fetched for me. I did not know that it was just in my voice, because as someone's purpose and my purpose can be able to stay up in next person's purpose. And sometimes we feel like a purpose is something that's great, that will make you to fly around and just be all over the place, but it's just you opening your mouth for a greater good. So I'm really grateful for the space that I've been given, the opportunity that I've been given to be even on his platform. Imagine. So that is really something that gives me joy, that there are people out there that have the same mindset as me, and that has the same ambitions as me, that are willing to sit down. Yes.
Yes, thank you for sharing. As we get ready to close, what is your dream for the future?
My dream is, I have personal goals for myself. I would love to have a school one day, because I'm also in the process of getting my own things sorted out, so that I can have my own private space where I can be able to do what I think is good for a child. But currently, I have ambitions for myself, where I would like to see myself in a platform where I will have more voice to be able to help change or help direct our education system in my country. I always have a little bit of issue with my education system, because it's just about reading and writing, and a child is not built in what they're good on. So if I can be given a platform, that would also be great. That is my personal goals that I have for myself. But I do have a lot of things that I want to accomplish in a certain period of time. So yes.
Yes, thank you. How can folk follow you on social media? Where can they find you?
On Facebook, it's Gelda Waterboer, but it's my Facebook platform is apparently full, because it's not a page. Maybe I need to change it to a page, because I can't. People are just telling me that I want to follow you, but it's full. So it's just Gelda Waterboer. I will open a page where everyone can be able to follow. On Instagram, it's also just Gelda Waterboer. On TikTok, also just Gelda Waterboer. So it's just Gelda Waterboer. Nothing extra added.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
mostly found on Facebook and TikTok. I'm not that much of an Instagram person. I don't know.
Well, you hear that, family. Please follow Gelda all over social media. Just put her name in. Make sure you follow her. Support the work that she's doing and all of the
Yeah.
initiatives that will be coming forth. We definitely want to support you. So please let us know. Stay in contact with us so we can know what's coming up for you, so that we can support in the ways that we can, in the ways that we know how to. So thank you, Gelda, for showing us how advocacy, creativity, and courage can
Thank
change
you.
lives. Thank you. And so, family, those of you who are watching, hey, Instagram, and those of you watching on all of our other social media platforms, and those who would catch this in the replay, remember, as our children head back to school this year, that safety, dignity, and love are just as important as books and
Yeah.
backpacks. And so, if this conversation inspired you, share the song. If you haven't already, support the work and continue to create safe spaces for every child. Until next time, I am your host, Sue A. Webley, and I want you to stay lifted. I want you to stay motivated. And most of all, I want you to stay inspired. God bless you all, and we'll see you next week.